What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's PR7 here. Today we're going to be doing a flight from Buffalo, New York, over to Block Island in Rhode Island in the TBM 930. This here is the TBM 930 improvement mod, which can be found on flightsim.to, along with the livery, which I will be linking in the description, as well as this scenery here, which is by iniScene? Builds? I always forget. Either way, nice payware scenery, recently updated. So yeah, not too much going on here. We're doing an offline flight today, as given the current time of recording, no ATC is online anyways. So let's hop into the flight deck, get everything set up, and we'll get on our way. Okay, well, welcome to the flight deck of the TBM 930. First thing I'm going to do here is shut the door. Get the volume a little bit better under control. Okay. Just double check everything here. Parking brake is set. Throttle is in the correct position. It's a flight off, I believe. Flaps are set to up. Everything else looks okay. All the lights are set to off. Batteries off. Auxiliary boost pump set to off. Manual. Okay, so first thing first, let's get the crash bar up. Let's get the battery on. And we'll also set the generator to on for now. Get our nav lights on. Let them know we have power. Let's get this set up here. And I think we're just going to go right to engine start since we don't have a GPU. But first, I will be setting our weights as I have a flight plan from SimBrief. Unfortunately, there's no...
Pause system test. Okay.
Well, thank you, ma'am. There's no easy EFB or anything to get our payload and our fuel going here, so I have SimBrief over here on another window. So let's look at this. I use kilograms. It is what it is. Let's see here. It's calling for 520 kilos of fuel for the flight. So let's get this. Sure, 541 will be fine. And the payload it's asking for is 522 kilos. And we are looking for a takeoff weight of 3,106 kilos. So we'll just get it close to that. So. Sure, that's fine. That'll work. So payload set, so we can imagine our virtual passengers as well as our fuel has been loaded. So we are going to start up the engines here. So first thing we're going to do here is put the auxiliary boost pump into the auto position. I'll put the fuel selector into the auto position. And ignition is in auto, which is fine.
Oral warning.
We can clear that. And yeah, so we will hold the starter on for about 2 seconds. Click spots are a little funky. Okay, we can let go. Starting process has started. Looking for about 15-16% here. Low idle. Watching ITT rise. ITT looks good. Let's go to high idle. And that shaking that you're seeing here, that's FS realistic. So pretty nice. Just an FYI in case you haven't heard about it, which I'm sure you have. Alright, that looks good. Let's bring it over to flight idle. Like you see here, the prop is going up a little bit when that happens, but ITT is stabilizing, which is good. Okay, let's get our pitot heaves on. And we'll also get the inertial separator. We'll set bleed over to auto. And also get our autopilot and yaw damper on. So that is really it when it comes to starting this aircraft. Pretty straightforward, nice and easy. So let's get over here and start setting up our flight plan. I'll go to MFD, click on flight plan. We'll start in our origin here, which is Buffalo, so KBUF. Our destination is Block Island, which will be Kilo Bravo India Delta, Block Island State, over there in Rhode Island. And let me just get up our waypoints we'll be looking at here today. We'll be doing the Buffalo 8 departure with the Juliet Hotel Whiskey, which is the Jamestown VOR transition, so we'll get that in here. Juliet Hotel Whiskey. Okay. And then from there we will be direct to view. And from view, we will be going on the Quebec 82 airway, and we will be exiting at Tyrod. Good, can load that. Oh, and in case you're wondering, this is the working title G3000 mod, which is free and highly recommended, as all the modifications to this aircraft make it, I mean, I liked it when it was, you know, I liked it just fine as the default, but with these modifications, it really brings this aircraft to another level. And yeah, highly recommended. So, again, all that stuff will be linked down in the description below, so I encourage you to check it out. Okay, anyway, so final waypoints will be, let's see here, will be the Hartford VOR, which will be Hotel Foxtrot Delta. We have our duplicates, and yes, we do not want 7,600 nautical miles. We want the one right there. Okay, now let's go to procedures. Let's go on our departure. SimBrief is calling for runway 23, I believe. Yes, runway 23. So let's do runway 23, the Buffalo 8 departure, which is just sort of a standard. Well, let me pull up the chart here for you. Let me get this up. We can look at it ourselves. So, the Buffalo 8 departure generally is just transitioning to whichever one of these VORs is in the general direction of where you're going to want to be going, given your departing runway. And since we will be, here's the airport chart. Let's also get up my little guy here so we know where we are. There we are. So we'll be coming off of 2-3, and I guess right now I'll just discuss simple taxi. I'm just going to be taking Alpha. I'll cross run 1-4. Probably Charlie. We don't need a whole lot of runway. Charlie would be certainly sufficient. And once we depart from 2-3, as we can see up here, we need to get above 3,000, and then we'll be making a right-hand turn over to the Jamestown VOR, after which we will be direct back onto our routing. The top altitude here is 10,000 feet, and as it says right here, climb heading 235 until leaving 3,000. So, not too bad. Let's see here, top altitude also for our flight today. SimBrief wants us at flight level 290. We'll see. I'll set that, but yeah, we'll see. But as of right now, get this out of the way. And for the sake of what we're doing here, that looks good. So let me just load that in. We'll also be looking at the at Block Island. We're looking for runway 10. We'll do the RNAV approach, so we'll load that up. That looks good. Let's just make sure everything makes sense here. Yep, looks good. If I zoom out, and we can try and take a look here, just to make sure everything kind of makes sense. There we go. View over to Tyrod. Over to the Hartford for VOR, and then onto our nav approach. Okay, good. So, we can also get our speed bugs here, given our given the weights that we put in. Nav 1, okay, everything looks good. Am I missing anything here on the PFD? No, I have that over here. Keep our flight plan up on this. So, like we said, okay, inertial separator's on. I'm going to set our initial altitude here to 10,000. We'll also hit B here to grab our altimeters. We can get our flight directors on. We can get into nav mode also. And we'll set our active nav source to the FMS for our GPS. Okay, and more or less, of course, set our flaps for takeoff. More or less, that is pretty much all there is to it, so looks good. We'll get ready here for taxi, and yeah, turn on my track IR. Let's center it up. There we go. Much better. And get a little panel lighting. Oop. Little panel lighting looks much better. Heck, I'll take a little more. Okay, good. Get our flight yoke here. Check in flight controls. You can also see our rudder pedals are good. Let's also make sure we have the correct trim for takeoff. Looks good there. Okay, we'll check both sides here. Again, we'll imagine we have all our clearances here. Set our taxi lights. Double check the overhead. Make sure everything's good. Important, I forgot this on my test flight. Yeah, so you know how it goes. So, okay, well that's on. Fuel selector to auto. Auxiliary boost pump is over to auto. Ignition is set to auto. Starter's good. And of course, battery and the generator are also good. Again, double checking down here. Our inertial separator's on. Our pitot heats are on. No need for any kind of de-icing. And the bleeds are set to auto. So our pressurization should be set. We are in flight idle, and again, our flaps are set for takeoff. So we are good to go. So release the parking brake. Taxi lights are on. Give it a little throttle. And off we go. Excellent. Get to Alpha here. Good. Taxi on down. Like I said, we will cross, what is it, 1-1 or 1-4 up here? Get over to Charlie, and we'll just hop on the runway and take right off. Pretty crazy elevation stuff going on here. I wonder if that's realistic. That seems a bit excessive. I can't really see it from there, but it does seem a bit excessive there. Doesn't bother me too much, but a little bit of brakes here. Crossing a runway here. Look both ways. We know we're good, but oh, definitely wants to get heading right. We'll also get our strobes on here. Again, now this, yeah, I think that's just some terrain height artifacts. That's okay, yep, 1-4. I did kind of remember. Alrighty, coming up here on Charlie. Although I do like this airport quite a lot. Take the runway. We will actually stop real quick just so I could align the heading. Fly runway heading until we're about above 3,000 feet, and then we'll head direct to the Jonestown VOR. Again, double checking everything. Again, flaps set for takeoff, good. Everything looks good there. We have nav engaged, our flight directors are on. We'll get the yaw damper and the autopilot on when the time is right, and I will go into flight level change mode in order to climb most efficiently. Again, all our lights are on. Again, double checking, everything looks good. You know what might help though? Getting that oxygen on. Anyways, okay, here we go. Set takeoff thrust, ease it on up. There's that FS realistic. And we'll set takeoff thrust. Maintain center line as best I can. Rotating at about 90 knots. There's 90 knots. Let's rotate. Keep wings level here. Positive rate. Gears coming up. See you later, Buffalo. Flaps clean. A little bit of turbulence. We'll also reduce thrust here. Gonna climb out a little bit faster than what it wants. Climbing out at about 140 is just fine. Pitch up here a little bit. A little bit nose down now, we're losing some speed. Look at the views. Love this plane. Get great views from the seat. There's 3,000 feet. Get the yaw damper on. Let's get the autopilot on. also just adjust it. I'll give it a little bit more throttle. Real nice out the window. Another clear weather out here in Buffalo. It's like the last flight I did. We had predominantly CAF OK. To be honest, I'd like to see some, hopefully a little bit of weather on our way or coming into Block Island would be nice. Click spots are a little weird. Let's get this down to 130. See if we can increase our climb performance here. Keep our heading bug aligned. Beautiful. We'll imagine we got cleared up to a higher altitude here. I'll set it up to... Again, we are planning for 290, I believe. Right now, I'll just put it up to flight level 200. We'll see how we get on from there. 10,000 feet, I will turn off the lights as I will also, you know what, get the inertial separator off now. See, torque should increase. ITT should drop, I believe. Right now I'm just monitoring over here. Yep, torque has increased. ITT is decreasing. Slightly. I believe. Keep an eye on that, but I'm mostly interested here in torque. But we are climbing quite a bit better. As yeah, everything looks like it's going as planned. There's 10,000 feet. Get our lights off. Quick panel scan. And everything is looking good. All we're waiting for now is 18,000 feet to transition into standard pressure as we make our way out on this this flight here. So, as we go on here, I'll handle all the monitoring and I'll be showing you guys some stuff that's going on outside of the plane as we make our way over to Block Island, and we'll come on back around top of descent. So, see you soon. Alright guys, welcome on back here. We just started our descent here into Block Island, and as you can see, we've had some, got my wish, we got some clouds going here now, so descending steadily. We're looking to be at about 1,700 feet as we try and reach our final approach point. It's going to be interesting to see where the cloud cover is going to be bottoming out at. So, can I get it here? Let's see here. Yep. Thank you, game. I really appreciate that. Anything close by to Block Island? No. It's super useful. It's okay. We'll figure something out. But other than that, I mean, it's been a pretty smooth flight. Might want to increase our rate of descent here. Get 2,000 feet per minute going. Again, these click spots are weird. They're really a bit challenging. And it hasn't just been happening to me in the TBM. It's happened in a few other flights I was doing without recording. So I'm not really sure what's been going on, if that has anything to do with the hotfix that was just put out, even though it claimed it made no difference to the PC, but nonetheless, I'm not quite sure. So we have about 25 miles left to the Hartford VOR, and then from there we go direct guard, which is another 36 miles, 46. So we have about 36, 24. It's about 60 miles, about 76 miles till we get to our fix, of which we need to be at 1,700 feet. We're at 24. Multiply that by 3. Yeah, we're in good shape right now. We're in good shape, so we'll just continue our descent here and make some smaller adjustments when needed in the vertical speed. I can shave off quite a bit of speed pretty quickly. So one thing I will do here, we can go to speed bugs, get rid of this. Yep, on RV approach, looks good. Again. A little bit of turbulence going on here, as we have a 53 knot crosswind currently. Outside air temperature, let's see here, outside air temperature we're at minus 19, so looking like we'll probably have to get some anti-ice on here as we come into this cloud cover. Although it doesn't look like the cloud cover is going to go too deep, as I can at least see some ground here. Hopefully we can get below it nicely on our way into Block Island. Now again, this airport is a hand-built one that I think one of 4 that came with World Update 10 for the United States. At least one of the hand-built airports, as opposed to just all the different points of interest that they added and terrain data, photogrammetry, and things like that. So it should be interesting. Actually going to, let's bump this up to 2,500. A little bit less throttle. Can keep us at a steady 200, 205 is fine to descend at. Given our ground speed is just under 300, that's okay. Also set our courses here. Not that I'm really going to need to use it, because I do not have any there's no VOR, at least. Let me double check that. Let's check it with you guys right here. Pop this up. Let's get the chart list open. I lie, there is a VOR, although we're not going to be doing the DME arc, but we can at least put this in as backup. So 117.8, we're looking about 104, 104 for the heading. Oops, sorry about that. Just snap that in. Okay, so let's go navcom. And we want 117.8. Oops, cancel. Here we go. So we have 117.8. And we want set that. Maybe I should have put it in on nav too. That's okay. Or at least get it set up just as a backup. Not really sure what's going on there. A little bit of a bug there. Coming in on the approach, we should be okay now. Gonna hunt that path a little bit. But we are coming down nicely. We have 35 miles. Let's see here. I think we can shallow out our out our descent here. Adjust the throttles. Here we go. Let's get windshield and prop. So you're 35 miles to go. We need to be at 17,000. Not 17,000, excuse me, 1,700 feet. Looking pretty, that's for sure. Side air temperature is -2. Keep the anti-ice on. That's me slacking a bit there. I should have set our altimeter before that, but we're coming up to 10,000 feet here, so... Oop. Air landing lights on. Track IR on also. God, it's beautiful. I love the weather simulation in this simulator. It's spectacular. get this down to 1,700 feet. Coming out over Rhode Island here. Just continuing to monitor the descent. That. It's awesome. Luckily, they've improved live weather significantly. Perhaps for those of you wondering, I have a decent system. Running this on high end in 1440 RTX 2070. 8th gen Intel i7, 32 gigs of Corsair Vengeance DDR4. I believe 3600 megahertz, could be 3200 megahertz, honestly, I forget. Oop. Get it down to 2,000 feet just so. Let's bring back the throttle here and start bleeding off some speed. Should have plenty of time to get down by RENA. Essentially, it wants us to be level by Suffolk. But I'd like to get below this cloud cover, if at all possible, before then. Okay. Outside air temperature is 12 Celsius, so we can get rid of the prop and windshield anti-ice here. Let's also get on our inertial separator. Should have had that one on too. You see here, it's picked up the VOR. I'm going to pre-program the heading here to get us for runway heading 104. Pretty good now, we got plenty of space. Thank you. Steady the throttle here a bit. $1,000 to go. A bit in the thick of it. Really is sensitive. The click spots. Plenty of time, though. But again, hopefully we can get out from underneath this. Or I should say get underneath this. Although, wow. Looks like we might just... Look at that. Gorgeous. Shouldn't have a glide path, and I don't know why we're climbing a bit. Might just be a bug. So we're still going to have a hard time coming in here. So I'm going to do here is let's go heading hold. VOR1. I'm going to do the course of 104. Back into nav to hold us on that. Just to give me some extra guidance, since we're just kind of in the soup. Our speed is looking just fine. And we know we're positively indented here for the VOR, which is giving me some good information here. Start my descent path at Rena. And should we go missed, we will make a right turn, climbing back up to 1,700 feet, and we will come back direct Suffolk. So we'll get ourselves back to this point again. Although, just for curiosity's sake, do FMS. We do have, I wonder if this comes with the same kind of guidance that like the 7.3 does, where it's a pseudo ILS essentially, as opposed to Obviously, we're not on an iOS. I'm only having it backed up by the VOR. And here it comes. Will we catch it? Otherwise, I'll just take manual. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off the throttle. I'm going to let our speed bleed off here. Throw out flaps and gear as we come up here to arena, since I can't see anything. It's alright, a little bit of shake is okay. Let's get gear down. Also get flaps. First stage. Correct our angle of attack. Landing gear down, 3 lights indicating. We might just get lucky here. And it is taking us down by the glide path, but there seems to be a bug here in the PFD. Where the actual dot here for the... But that's okay. Just waiting for visual on the field. Put out our landing flaps. And I see the field. So let's disconnect. Put the yellow damper off as well. So interesting how it's bringing us in, but little low, that's okay. Staying a little low, but don't float her too much. Into beta. Into manual braking. Woohoo! A little tight there. A little tight, but we still... I floated it a bit too long there. But that's okay. Still stop before the end of the runway. Hope you guys are alright after that. Came in hot there, that's for sure. We'll just vacate here and head over for parking. the smoothest landing of all time, but you know. Everyone's fine. Taxi lights on. I like this though, this is nice. This is really nice. Let's clean up our flaps. Let's get off the flight directors. Who's he marshalling to? We'll take this one right over here. Wonderful. Parking brake on. Taxi lights can come off. Strobes can come off. And we can shut down. Cut the track IR. Looks good. Let's crack open the door here. If we can. Maybe the battery needs to be off? Oh, maybe not. Not really sure. Either way, guys, we made it here in our TBM to Block Island. And I hope you guys enjoyed that flight as much as I did. So yeah. Might be planning on doing another video where we start from here. I'm not 100% sure yet. Maybe like to do these consecutive legs and kind of tailor it to a larger journey. So perhaps thinking about heading down the East Coast down toward Miami, doing hops here, whether that's in the TBM here or perhaps another aircraft. But either way, you'll know. Because I plan on putting up videos here as soon as I possibly can. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a like. Leave a comment if you have anything to say about the video at all, anything. And yeah, sounds good. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.